Hello, everybody. I'll raise this up a little bit. Thank you all so much for being here, enjoying some space with us for poetry, for music, for sun, for breeze. I'm really excited to be here with another Tejana all the way in DC, and we were having lunch before we got here, and it was like, oh my God, we have a lot in common, and that was so phenomenal. We also know some similar people. We just found that out a little while ago. So anyway, just really great. I'm going to read today from a manuscript of poetry that I've been working on for almost 10 years. And it's at a really great place where it's wanting to be heard, and where your energy in listening to it and your energy in receiving it is going to help me finish it. So I greatly appreciate it, and I greatly appreciate William, Jamie, and Greg here today that are going to share this space with the work. So I want to tell you a little bit about it. It's called Milagros, as Brandon mentioned earlier. Milagros in English means miracles, and the manuscript explores a relationship between a father and a daughter. The father, similar to what Dahlia was sharing in her work, is a Vietnam vet. And the manuscript is really like a meditation on family violence and forgiveness also in family. Another thread of this is Catholic religion. That's also another thread. They are from Corpus, so Corpus plays a role in the manuscript. And then the final thread to just be thinking about, I'm going to read 2 poems for this first section, and then after Dahlia comes and I go up for the next section, I'll read about 3 or 4 poems. There's, in Mexican culture, milagros are also these tin ornaments. They're usually about the size of like half of my pinky here. And they can be a hand or a foot or a body praying, or eyes or lips. And they are ornaments that one purchases when a saint, or like the Virgin Mary or the Sacred Heart of Jesus, any of these saints and other imagery that people would pray to, has done a miracle for them, right? So when that entity has done a miracle for the person praying, you get this little milagro, is what it's called, and you pin it on the vestment of that saint. So as I read the poems, you'll hear me say something like hand, and then the title of the poem, or foot, and title of the poem, eyes, title of the poem, lips, title of the poem. And so it's this image of these tin eyes, lips, hands, etc. So that's the last thread. So I'll start with this first poem. And again, the manuscript is entitled Milagros. Foot, our dance. Kitten heels, gleaming white, laid out gently over his feet, cloaked in black leather. Un, dos, tres. Un, dos, tres. Un waltz, he said, looking down. My eyes looking up. A distance, connected by the constant count. The drum beat steady. My hands in his hands. My first lesson. He could lead me, but not hold me. The steps in time were mine to make. Hand, the ring. Snug in his right pant pocket, a diamond his index finger grazes over and over. The rose setting holding light in the darkness of his palm. She could say no, not be his wife, not find a home, not start a family, not be the dream that kept him alert during gunfights and asleep at night, the humid breath of the jungle surrounding him. Meet me at the church in our pew for 9 a.m. Mass. I want to see you, he wrote to her on the first leg back to Corpus. The paper stained with oil from his M16. This Sunday, they hold hands, rosary beads wrapping around their palms and streaming down their forearms, a cross hanging, a cascade of prayers between them. They sing hallelujahs, recite Our Fathers, Hail Marys, Glory Bees, destined like resurrection. Their kneels and stands in unison. The echo of the 45 approaching, BO of the other, behind the tree or maybe the bush, sounds as thin as his nerves, circuits of fear. But now, orange blossoms, her perfumed handkerchief near his chin as he turns to her voice, praying, Dios te salve. Does she hear the bullets? Does she smell the other's blood on his hands? He left Corpus innocent, returned from Nam, trained to kill, to survive. She could say no, not be his wife, not find a home, not start a family, retreat from this man whose memory triggers spinal spasms that will curl his body into a question without a mark. She could flee from the arguments that will fill her kitchen with broken dishes, flying beer cans, and shattered coffee mugs. Yet she stands her ground by kneeling on the rest in the pew, the closing incense binding them together. Today, he moves on with his life, perhaps no more wandering into the living room at 3 a.m. searching for his pack and his weapon. Today, he moves on with life, the next phase of manhood. Get a wife, young man. Make a life, young man. Have a family. Today, the diamond hard in his pocket, Jesus on the cross, his side bleeding, his feet bleeding, his hands bleeding. He lifts the band to the light. Thank you.